All right, we are live, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This is the Dice Dad Games League session of Curse of Strahd. We do this twice every week on Wednesdays. We got two groups running. We do one group at 5 p.m. Central and one group at 8 p.m. Central. We're a little late getting started today. You can blame the Dice Lad on that one, but we're ready to get going. We are streaming tonight to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people watching us tonight. And with that, we'll go ahead and hop over to the Discord, where we'll do a brief recap. Velas, would you like to recap us tonight?
Okay, well, we were in the orphanage. We were sent there by the coffin maker who said that the Mick, what was his name? The orphan in question,
Oh,
who
Milovaj?
Milovad has the bones of St Andral.
Yes, the
And
gravedigger Milovaj.
yeah, we got there and found he was like not, I don't know, possessed or just he was definitely under some fiendish uh induced illness. After investigating a bit and talking to the the orphanage mistress, we learned that there was the death of a kid named Eric who supposedly fell out of the tree, but he was cut up bad a few weeks ago. After investigating Felix, we noticed there some oddities about his personality. After we left the room, Velas was watching him and he disappeared on him. The group decided to investigate while Velas and Kellen, I think, was cooking dinner. The cleric, I think, or someone, found a bunch of infernal runes under each bed, and it's been implied that these have been causing bad dreams. Towards the end, we heard several members heard footsteps. We discovered a ladder, one of those pull ladders leading to the top of to the attic. Cedric, I think the brother of Milaj,
Yeah.
uh, was missing along with Felix. Velas and someone else, I forgot their name, walked upstairs to investigate, but a unnatural darkness, like the darkness spell, was over the area. We heard Cedric's voice asking where he was, where Felix was. He was concerned, and then a mighty wind pushed Cedric out of the little window there to his death. So he fell to his death, and we heard some, I would say, inhuman laughter, like it wasn't a child's laughter. We found Felix, and he was whimpering or something, and we brought him downstairs as we were told that Cedric is dead. Yeah, they came up to inform us Cedric was dead. Oh, and we were planning to. We believe Felix is possessed by something. Probably a fiend. I don't know. And that's what I remember.
That is a very good and accurate sum up of what happened last time. So if everyone looks on the battle map, you will see that your party is sort of split up right now between being on the second floor of the orphanage, where there is a ladder down right over here that you all have pulled down. And then, as Velas said, a couple of you had moved up to the second floor of the orphanage, but you would realize pretty quickly as you got up here that the darkness was deep and possibly magical in nature, as those of you with dark vision can't see through it, and when you tried to activate your gem of brightness, it sort of like smothered and choked out the gem. So we will go ahead and pick up. That is where the party is. We'll do character introductions, and then we will start back up right from there. So we'll start off with Velas. Go ahead and tell us about your character.
Bloss is a dark elf, a drow rogue. You know him as a thief. He has white hair, red eyes, and obsidian skin. You know him as a thief, but you know he also won't steal from you. So you're confident of that.
All right. Phelan, go ahead and tell us about your character.
Phelan is a middle-aged human, roughly in his 40s. He's got long, dark, flowing hair, um, with just some streaks of gray growing through it due to his age. He is a traveling bounty hunter, and that's him.
All right. Thank you. Frey, go ahead and tell us about you.
My character is called Frey. He is a tiefling warlock. He looks relatively young. If in human standards, he's probably around his early 20s. But he has this like almost dark red skin and almost his horns go up and curl around hit the back of his head. He for his attire, he has these almost bright white robes. They go all the way to near touching the floor. On his hips, he has a pair of daggers and his wand on the other hip. And that is all.
All right. Thank you. Kellen, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
I am Kellen Belmont, no relation, and I am a human rogue. Green eyes, black hair, tan skin. 22 years old, 5'9", 165. I'm an atheist, and I am a Leo.
All right. Tavior, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Sure. So Tavior is also a human rogue. Just looks like a normal girl. She's probably about 25 to 30 years old. She grew up in the church, and she believes she is on a mission for the church to help get rid of all the church's demons.
All right. And that just leaves Zed.
All right, Zed is a lizard folk rogue. He is a young adult lizard folk. He's quite small for that race. He's only about like 5'5". He's quite skinny, but he's got really long arms and legs. Not very heavy, but he looks like he can move quick. He just kind of skulks around and prefers to stay in shadows and whatnot. And he just views the world in really like survivalist terms, and this party is his band that keeps him going. So
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. So with that, that is our cast of characters for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and pick up with the cast of characters in the hallway, and some of you are upstairs. So go ahead and decide now which of you are in the hallway and which of you are upstairs. If you have character tokens, you can put them down here, and then we'll sort of determine. You can put them down around here, and we'll determine then where everybody goes.
Phelan was upstairs in the attic. He had fallen down.
Yes. He had already climbed up the attic and tripped.
All right, cool. So Phelan and I believe Velas was also up in the attic.
Yeah, I was by the entrance, just exactly where you climb up at.
All right.
Yeah, and I was there with him.
Okay.
I'd probably be standing right around the entrance.
Phelan and Phelan, if you can go ahead and just put your token down on the second floor, I'll move you up into the second floor where you would be.
I don't have a token.
Okay, I'll
I'll
just
just
make
drag one of these. Yeah, just pick one.
All right, so your 2 tokens are up in the darkness. Everybody else, place your tokens down. Okay. And with that, okay, cool. So, like we said, there is a huge gust of wind, a shattering smash, and then a whoosh, and then you hear just like a heavy thud from outside, and then screams erupt from the floor below you as you hear children like cry out, like, "What was that?" And you hear somebody rush to the window, and those of you who are upstairs in the attic, you hear sort of like a deep, evil laughter, sort of very subtly kind of like echo through the dark attic. And then just a moment later, you hear a little voice say, "Who's there? It's so dark. I'm just a poor little boy and I'm so afraid of the dark. Please help me, big adventurers."
Am I able to determine what direction he's in, even though it's in the dark, based off his voice?
He's definitely shouting at you from further in the from further in the attic. Can you guys see my laser on the darkness?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are like right here. This is where the attic door is. Velas, you're like right here. Phelan, you're like right here. The noise came from somewhere back here.
Can I do an insight check on that voice? If I can tell any lie in that voice.
Sure.
Unnatural 20.
This kid is lying. Oh, it's not a natural 20, it's a dirty 20, but it's 19 plus 1. But yeah. So yes, this kid is lying.
Okay, I yell back. Okay, listen. I yell back and say, I am a follower of Veyron. I know the darkness well, and I know liars. So drop the at and just let's drop the at. Who and what exactly are you now? Can I do a persuasion check?
Sure.
$15.
It looks like you rolled a perception, not a persuasion.
Oops. 14.
You just hear a voice cry out from the dark. "Who's there? Please, there's something back here with me. It's so scary. I can feel it breathing on me."
You're not fooling me. Okay, and I tell everyone, it's a trick. Don't go forward.
Zed would probably start climbing the ladder to the attic. He wouldn't probably go all the way up. You just kind of poke his little lizard head over the top, just see what's going on.
All right. Yes. So as he climbs the ladder, he pokes his head up, and it is pitch black. You cannot see like an inch in front of your face.
What do you see at the Zed?
You can't even see the other 2 people who are up there.
See, nothing. What are you doing up here?
Well, that's comforting.
Who's got a torch?
I think I have one. Hold on.
I don't like the sound of this kid.
Yeah, I got the torch. Hold on. And
Can
I'm
we
gonna-
hear the kid from on the second floor? Or
No, you don't hear anything
Oh,
from the
excuse
second
me,
floor.
I
Work on that.
I call back. It's probably a darkness spell. If I had to guess, no light will work.
Yeah, and as they pass the torch up to you and you kind of like thrust it up into the darkness, it's like plunging it into like a pool of ink. It's like as soon as it crosses the threshold of the second floor, you can like visibly see where like you lose track of the flame. Like it's like a thick black fog more than just darkness.
I'd like to call out to Felix to tell him to come over to us to try and consult him.
Since I have a devil sight rather.
You have devil
from the,
sight.
From the warlock invocations, would I be able to see through it?
You can see through this. Yes. You see through the darkness. And all right. I will go ahead and unfog the floor up here just so that you'll be able to see it, since you can see it.
Yes. Where's the ladder for us on the second floor?
This will be up on the third floor. The ladder is right. I'll mark out where the ladder is in just a second.
Okay.
There we go.
Isn't it like right here?
It is, yeah, right there. I'll put a little square on here.
Thank you.
All right. Sure. So I put the square there to mark where that is. So you guys, the two of you are up in the attic, and Zed, you are on the ladder. So
I'm gonna go ahead and climb all the way up.
Here.
Cool.
Just stay behind though.
All right.
Yeah.
So you and Velas can't see, but Phelan, you can see. You can't see
I
the little.
can't see. That was somebody else.
It was
Frey.
Frey.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll learn everybody's names eventually.
Frey,
So Frey-
can you do anything about this darkness up here?
All right. So Frey goes up there too.
Yep.
keep us informed down here. We don't know what's going on.
So, Frey, as you climb up, you see that there are several stacks of boxes, and then you can see sort of on the far end of the attic of the orphanage, there is one wide window, and the window has like been smashed outward. You see some of the frame has gone with it. It's like a hole more than like the glass being taken out. It looks like this was like, I don't know, with a check of some kind, you might be able to determine more about what happened over there, but something about it catches your eye as odd. You don't immediately see Felix. I should probably, there we go. You don't immediately see Felix.
Okay. As I asked my friend, so do you know who's up here, or if this is completely clear?
I'd say that Felix is nearby, but he is currently lying.
Actually, are you guys able to see through this? Because I am.
No.
I can't.
When you say that, also you hear from somewhere in the room, "I'm not lying. I always tell the truth."
Okay, after hearing that, I'm going to do. I would like to see make a check if I can identify where Felix is exactly.
Yes. It's not hard to determine. He's hiding behind the second set of boxes.
Yeah.
He's hiding behind these boxes.
Okay. I was going to say, your name was Felix, right?
Yeah, my name's Felix.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Frey. We're not here to hurt you, but I recommend making yourself visible.
Are you gonna hurt me? You say you're not gonna hurt me?
I promise.
Your
Unless
friend
provoked-
sounded scary.
Okay, I promise, unless provoked, we will not attack.
All right. You see a little boy sort of peek from behind these boxes. You see he's kind of like fearfully like looking around, like up into the air, and you see he's clutching a teddy bear to his chest.
What's he doing?
He steps
The
out
kid,
here, but he doesn't come any closer. He steps out here and he sees the group of you.
I say back to Zed. The kid has gotten out of his behind the boxes. I say to Felix, are you able to see through this darkness as well?
When you say that, suddenly he was looking right at you, and then suddenly he like starts to like sort of like look around and like move his hands in front of his face. And he goes, "Oh, I can't see. It's so dark."
Yeah, I just say you aren't falling. God. Should I make an insight check? Like, because as a player, I felt I definitely know that's a definite
Yeah.
lie. But
You can make and you can make it with advantage because you saw him before he switched.
okay. Cool. Oh yeah. That is a 17 total.
All right. Yeah, this kid is like lying so much.
I say, who are you really? Do not come any closer. Just stay where you are. But who are you really?
When you mention that he's getting closer, I'm gonna start to like head back down the ladder. I'll be like, nope.
He says, "I'm just a little orphan boy. I'm Felix.
I say, oh, can it? I'm from the Underdark.
I'm only 4 years old and I'm only 4 apples high."
Yeah, you're not fooling us. What is your true name?
"I don't know what you're talking about, but I think that maybe we should get Miss Bawasco. You all are scaring me."
Yeah, Felix, let's go down there and get her together.
I move towards the exit. If
So he waits for all of like he's gonna sit here and wait for all of you to leave. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Faden, last you go down first. I'll make sure that he doesn't do anything.
I'm not leaving this area.
okay, guide me towards the exit. Tell me direction wise.
Yeah, you can kind of tell where it is. You haven't wandered so far from it that you don't remember where the exit was.
Okay, I climb downstairs.
All right.
I'm sort of gonna tug on like Frey's shirt because I'm kind of hunched over when I walk and just.
Yeah.
Does he got any meat on his bones?
Is this kid like very scrawny or?
He's a little boy. Oh, he's a little redhead boy.
Yeah. I say this kid is fairly scrawny, but can I make what check would it be if I could tell that if this is some sort of was extra planar stuff going on?
So last session they already did a fair amount of detecting, I believe, and they had determined that there was a fiendish presence in the in the orphanage, and specifically there was a fair amount of it around Felix.
Yeah, Velas has already predicted that something is. This kid is not who he is. Who he says he is. He's been around the bush one too many times in the Underdark, so he's.
Yeah. It's something I definitely cannot do any kind of harm this kid. He's a child. If he's possessed, then harming the mortal form is not going to do anything to the fiend itself. Yeah. I would like to. Well, that's Asaya.
Oh, you first.
Yeah, I was going to say I would like to whisper if he was any perhaps mostly to try to talk to my patron. It's like and asking for advice what to do to the situation. It's a celestial patron.
All right. So as you kind of like go to contact your patron, you realize sort of like in horror, as does every person with either divine or, in your case, like from another source power, that you can kind of you can kind of feel like a semblance of their presence, but you feel very, very removed from it. Like you're viewing it from a distance as opposed to like being in it. And you can't seem to contact your patron.
Okay. Okay.
Can I do a religion check to see if I remember any details from the Underdark about demons and or fiends and such?
Sure, you could make a religion check to kind of try to remember some general facts about demons.
18.
Many of them are intelligent and willing to negotiate or make deals, but the deals usually kind of wind up hurting you in the long run. Many of them are vulnerable to holy sources. It's not uncommon to see ones that are resistant or completely invulnerable to fire. That's kind of like general knowledge you would know about them. You'd also know with that like that it's hard to know a lot of general knowledge about demons because there are so many different demons who all have kind of different motives. So a lot of work is determining what kind of demon you're dealing with.
Any chance I can try to... no way. There is probably no way for me to use a religion check to figure out what type of demon.
You could try, but without having some like religious texts or like training.
Oh, we have a book. He gave us some book on the priest did.
Yeah, it was. You guys had determined though that the book was full of like religious hogwash. It wasn't like a tome of like science on how. It wasn't demonology. It was like, throw the witch in the water, and if she floats, she's a witch. It was that kind of stuff.
So crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. From my more acolyte background, and from my teaching as well, could I just say what kind of demons more for fiends prefer possessing?
Sure. Go ahead and make a religion check.
Okay, roll normal and to everyone. 13.
All right. With a 13, you know that ghosts are known to sort of do this sort of possession thing. So it could be that. There are a whole score of various monsters that can do this. Though if you guys are trying to like, you can't determine exactly what demon it is, but you would guess that it is either that whatever demon it is fairly powerful because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy to possess someone.
Ooh, I have an idea. Okay, I'm just gonna shout out. Demon, I have a proposition for you if you reveal yourself. A trade, if you will.
Can I be on the ladder relaying what's happening upstairs?
Okay, cool.
Downstairs?
Do you don't hear any response, almost like it's waiting for you to continue.
Okay. I want you to free this child. and well, I'll leave what the offer is to your choice, and we can agree on it.
So we are able to hear it downstairs.
It hasn't spoken. No, only Felix has spoken.
No, I mean the
I was
person.
saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Zed was
being
on the ladder
relayed.
relaying.
Everything is being relayed.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
so
like,
you know
oh,
this.
you dumb SOB.
You
Oh, no.
He says you're dumb. Stop doing that.
you hear from the darkness. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a little old boy. I can't make any deals. Are you gonna get Miss Belasco?
Just tell me what you want.
I want you to go get the teacher because you're really scaring me.
First, I could do anything you would like. I could even, if you like, I could even offer up my own soul as well for this child.
Oh, you dumb.
Make a
Here,
persuasion
well,
check.
This whole thing sounds like BS to me, just to throw it out there.
Oh no, I am not proficient. Oh no.
Are you actually willing to give up your soul for the child, or are you trying to lie to the demon to convince it to let the kid go?
It's on the table. Right
Okay,
now.
so because this is a persuasion and not a deception.
I'm willing to give it up for the child. Yes.
Stop it.
All right, roll your persuasion.
Oh, Velas is just banging his head on the wall as.
That is a 5. that
I'm
that is
picking my teeth
5.
with my dagger.
That's 5.
You see the kid kind of like you are you the one with devil's sight?
Yes.
Okay. You see he kind of like looks right at you. He makes eye contact with you and he gives you like the creepiest smile. And then suddenly he like slaps himself in the face really hard and then like slaps himself again in the face until his cheeks are bright red and then he starts to sob. And then he screams, "Miss Belasco! Miss Belasco!" And you see he like dashes towards the ladder.
Try to stop him.
All right, this will be
Yeah.
opposed.
Yeah,
So you make an athletics roll because this is a grapple, and it's going to be opposed by his acrobatics.
At the same time, I would like to get Zed to get. I want Zed to shut the door. Like, I'm guessing there's like a door to this, right?
Yeah, there's a trap door.
Yeah, so I can get Zed to try to shut the trap door.
Okay, that will involve like sliding the ladder up. It's one of those big like.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, it's like the ladder and trap door in one.
Oh no, I have an extra 1 to athletics.
I'm not gonna lock you up here with a demon.
Wait, something's trying to escape?
Oh, he's coming.
Yes.
Get ready.
Yeah, it's gonna say the child is trying to escape. That is a 7.
All right, so you grab at the kid.
Myself.
You grab at the kid, and he dives like he like runs through your legs and like dives down the ladder.
Oh, right into me.
Right into.
Does Phelan see any of this happening at all? I know he can't see him, but I wanted to try and throw a net at him.
You can hear the sudden like scrambling and like rush towards the thing. So I'll let you. Did you have a net out?
I have a net, yeah.
Okay. You can make the roll for the net, but you need to do it at disadvantage.
I was.
Could I ready an action?
Everybody who's like down there can also try to grab this kid if that's what you're
Got a
trying to do.
6 for
I
the
was saying I
net.
was helping. What's his face?
Frey, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was helping Frey grab him.
All right. Well, Frey already made the roll, but you can help Velas as he jumps down, since you're right in the way.
I'm not trying to grapple him. I'm trying to knock him out.
You're going to attack him. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
With the blunt end of.
Oh, so you're doing non-lethal?
Yeah, non-lethal.
Okay. So we're gonna give Zed a chance to grab him.
Okay.
So Zed, you can make your athletics roll opposed by his acrobatics roll.
15.
He got a 16. Whoo! Slides right through you. You go to collapse your arms around him, and he goes through the middle of your arms, like a swan dive, just a whoosh down through there and through the gap in your legs. He hits the ground, sort of. Well, let's see how he hits the ground. A nat 20. He hits the ground and rolls like a rogue, and then he's on his feet and he's holding the teddy bear in one hand, and he's looking around at the group of you as the group of you who are downstairs. Let me move his token down.
I'm gonna call out when I miss. I'm gonna call out to Tavior.
Get to the teacher first.
He hits the ground right here, and he's looking at all of you, and he is going to try to run past all of you. So everyone who would like to can make either an attack, or you can try to grab him as he runs past each of you.
Well, if he's gonna run right past me, I'm gonna try and grab him.
All right, he is trying to go like this. That is what he's going for right now. So he's gonna be like that. So everyone, go ahead and try to grab him as he runs past you.
So
I'm
he's heading
going
in this
back.
direction,
He's running for the stairs.
or right here.
Yeah.
Can I throw a bag of ball bearings right down right here?
Yes. If you would like to do that, that is fine. Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right, so you're doing that. What is everybody else making their grabs?
I'm making my attack.
You're making your
I'm
attack.
doing-
We're going to go in the
Yeah.
order, though. So, Tavior, you're first. Go ahead and make an athletics roll opposed by his acrobatics roll.
At an 8.
He got a 17. He dips right under, he goes, right under your grab, and he's on the other side of you, and he runs right past Kellen. Kellen, would you like to try to grab?
Gotta grab.
All right. You need to beat a 16 this time.
Athletics.
Yeah.
$13.
Yeah, you grab at him, and again, right between your legs, and he just has Velas now in front of him. He looks at you, Velas, and you see a look of real fear in his eyes. It looks like this kid has gone full manic, he's fight or flight. He chose flight. And
Yeah, I'm going to roll to use the blunt end of my blade, not the pummel, to not try to knock him down. I'm going to do non-lethal damage.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I'm on. Would we be on either side of him? Would he get advantage?
At this point, yes, but you're not really fighting. You tried to grab him. Velas hits though, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Can I get sneak attack damage?
No.
I'm right by him. I'm adjacent to Kellen's, definitely.
Yeah, but Kellen wasn't doing combat. Fine. I'll give it to you. Go ahead. Because that wasn't enough to knock him out, so we'll see if this finishes it off. That's enough to knock him out. All right, so yeah, he almost gets past you, but he runs through your legs, and you turn and you take your dagger and you chuck it, and it goes clunks him right in the forehead, the blunt end of it, and he falls onto the stairs full of ball bearings, and tumbles down the stairs.
Oh no.
Meh.
We're gonna get into deep trouble.
Meh.
Can I
I
jump
have to
down
stop
the?
him. And in the Underdark, that's how you stop a kid.
Can I jump down this little area of the stairs and try to swing past the ball bearings, go after him?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Because the ball bearings, it's a DC 10 dexterity saving throw, or you fall prone. Unless you're moving at half speed, then you don't need to make the save.
He had so much momentum behind what he was doing that when he got knocked out, he kept sort of going forward. That's basically what happened. and he sort of ragdoll physicsed onto the stairs and then like continued to fall down the stairs because of the bearings. He's unconscious at the foot of the stairs. You see this door right here suddenly like open, and you see Miss Belasco like poke her head out of the door. She looks down and sees Felix's now like very bruised and like lacerated body. He's not dead, but he's unconscious, and she screams.
Oh,
Miss-
sugar, honey, iced tea.
This child is possessed by a demon.
I speak up. He is currently he's currently possessed by a demon. We are trying to prevent him from harming another.
She looks at you all like just mouth agape, like standing protectively over Felix, and she sort of like takes this like motherly stance over his form, and she says, "You're all monsters."
Listen to me.
Actually, I'm the only monster.
Listen to me. This kid is possessed. We have strong strong evidence to prove his guilt.
I'm
Why
gonna
do you?
I'm gonna pull out my holy symbol. It's just like, if you don't believe them, just believe someone of a member of a religious order.
You had infernal runes under your beds. We took our time to remove them. It is why you've been having such horrible dreams. There was a unnatural darkness in the attic caused by some magic. We heard demonic laughter. The kid was lying. The kid is responsible for Cedric's death.
The child is responsible for nothing. If there
Yes,
is a
but-
force at work here, it is a force at work on and through this child. And this child's innocence must be protected, and his health must be protected, and it is my job to do that. And I will not allow you to kill this boy.
I'm not going to kill him.
Well, she points at him on the ground, and he is like, there's blood coming out of his nose. Like I said, his face is really scratched up from when he like beat himself up in the attic. And the fall down the stairs did not help. And there's also like a huge welt that is like forming like right on his noggin from where you butted him with the
Do a
dagger.
persuasion check.
But he's not dead, is he?
You need to do the persuasion check at disadvantage because of her attitude towards you at this point.
I said, listen, we had to restrain him from doing harm to the other kids. This person, we're going to try to do an exorcism on him, but in order to do that, we had to subdue him, and we were forced to act.
Okay, so what was your persuasion check with disadvantage?
I'd like to use my inspiration to remove the disadvantage.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, my first roll was a crit.
Okay. She like looks at you for a second, and she looks down at the boy, and she says, "And you've done exorcisms before? Will it hurt the boy?"
I speak up, and I promise that exorcisms will provide no harm to the child.
It's the only way to save Felix.
She says, "I've already got the corpse of one child that I'm having to deal with tonight. I couldn't take having another child die. I give you permission to do your exorcism, but you need to do it tonight, and then you all need to leave here and never come back."
Alrighty.
Deal.
Can we do it tonight? Didn't we have to wait like 24 hours?
So that
The first person's powers.
this is going on that night. So the next day has to, I guess. So she says you need to do it this next day, I guess. You have until the following evening to do it, and then you need to leave and never return.
Do you have some place we could store Felix so he can't escape while we do the exorcism?
She nods and she says that she can keep him in her office until it's time.
We have a bag of holding too.
Yes,
She looks at you eyes wide, and she sort of clutches him. She picks him up, and she says, "No, I will be perfectly capable of doing this on my own."
Okay, but
It's
would you be
also
against tying him to a chair so he doesn't flee?
She nods and she says, "I suppose if you think that's necessary, but
We do.
you obviously didn't have that much trouble subduing him before, so I don't see what the concern is here."
The concern is what is possessing him.
She looks at all of you, and you see that, like, sort of like the stress of the evening and like the death of Cedric, and then this sort of all hits her at once, and you see her eyes just sort of like well up in tears, and she says, "I need to think. Do any of you have magic that can bring someone back from the dead? Is it? I've heard that there are spells that, if they're done quick enough, can bring someone back. You all seem like types to have these kinds of spells, and
Well,
Nope.
it is. Well,
we could try to bring Cedric to the Abbey. They told us that he may be able to be. We were coming here to resurrect a fallen friend, but we can try to bring Cedric to the Abbey to be revived."
You see, she kind of like looks at you as you'd mentioned the Abbey, and sort of like hope drains from her face, and she says, "Well, if the Abbey is our only hope, then Cedric won't be back."
Not necessarily. There is a way to bring. There might be a way. They may have a way to bring them back.
I talked to that abbot. He's an idiot.
No, the Abbey.
The Abbey in Kresk.
Kresk.
Yeah. She looks at you and she says, "No one has heard from the order in that monastery for years.
Well, they haven't met us then.
They haven't opened their gates for any of us who have sought help from them before. I wouldn't expect any different for yourselves."
Well, what do you have to lose?
She nods. She says, "Fair enough." She says, "I suppose I'll write up the letter to Father Lucian that we have a body that needs to be taken care of." She carries Felix back into her office. Sorry, did you want to say something else?
Yes.
I
He did.
give you my promise. We'll try our best to bring Cedric back to the land of the living.
Yeah, she kind of gives you like a half smile that is very much like not very convincing. She says, "All right, adventurers. You have 24 hours. I would make sure I would start your preparations for your rites as soon as possible. If you need me or any of the children, we will be staying out of your way."
I speak up one more time. I think when the hour comes for the exorcism, I think you should have the children take a field trip to the church. That might be the best idea. So they won't be in harm's way.
She sort of like nods and she says, "Yeah, I suppose that would be a good way to do it." Well, if you don't have anything else to say to me, I think
When the boy awakes, he will be very persuasive, Miss.
Belasco.
Yes, Miss Velasco.
I have spent my entire life having children try to get things from me. You don't have to worry about me.
How long did you spend with that same amount of time dealing with demons?
She sort of like gives you like a knowing nod, and she says, "I'm sure that there are overlaps in the skill sets."
That's That's fair enough.
Does Miss Velasco seem nervous at all, or worried at all, or is she pretty calm for this?
She looks like she's barely holding it together.
Okay.
Like, she's old, and you can tell that she has, like, seen a lot, and it's still, like, yeah, she almost lost it out there in the hall, but she kind of pulled herself back.
If that's everything, Miss Velasco, we can just sit down in the kitchen. I can make you a nice cup of tea, if that helps things over.
She says that she has something stronger in her office, and she says that's what a situation like this calls for.
I speak up and say, I am sorry for Cedric's death.
She nods and she says, so am I, and so is Ruby, and so is his sister Angelique.
Let's get this exorcism done.
I would also like to talk to her as well and just kind of, because I know they already told her that there was stuff under the kids' beds, but I want to let her know that we should probably check her bed as well and the rest of the help's quarters.
Sure. You tell her about the runes. She goes, oh, that's another disturbing thing. Just another one. I've caught children, specifically Felix, under a lot of the beds recently, so that checks out. But yeah, she gives you permission to go check under her bed as well.
Great. And I guess I'll get directions for her location and the chef's locations that we're helping to, and go check them out.
Sure.
Isn't the Milovaj, isn't he around here too?
Milovaj's room is over here, yes.
Check under his too, I think.
So are we splitting up checking rooms?
Yeah, I'm not versed in how to find these things. I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
I'm just
Aren't there only like 2 rooms?
drawings under the.
So these are the rooms you haven't explored yet. There are more rooms on the second floor. Those are all children's bedrooms. There is one more room. There's a bathroom inside Miss Belasco's quarters. So Miss Belasco's quarters are right here. This is her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
This is the cook's bedroom right here. And then this is where Milovaj's room is. And Milovaj is in this bed, like, sick and possessed or whatever. Like, not possessed, but demon sickness.
Phelan would like to stay outside the door to her office and maybe just listen to see if they have any conversations inside.
You hear the sound of like glass clinking, and then you hear sort of like silent, subdued sobs.
Coming from the mistress?
Yes, coming from the headmistress's office.
Can I tell if it's her or Felix?
It's definitely her.
Okay.
So when you go into Miss Belasco's bedroom, you see, while modest and broad standards, this bedroom is quite nice compared to the rest of the orphanage. These quarters are spotless and meticulously organized. The furnishings include a large bed, a wardrobe, a chest of drawers, and a table with 2 books resting on top. Sorry, a table with 1 book resting on top.
I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll go check under her bed for the runes.
You look under her bed.
You like me?
You see that there are no runes under her bed.
Okay. Then I'll leave, but before I leave, I would like to see what book is on her nightstand.
You see a copy of Toxic Parenting, The Hurtful Legacy of Corporal Punishment.
Okay.
I'm gonna check under the cook's bed.
That's funny. They had that same book in the orphanage I grew up in.
All right, so you go into the cook's bedroom. You see, or you smell. This room smells like mothballs. The bed is covered with a crocheted quilt, and a framed doily hangs on the walls.
I'd probably be like, I'd walk in, forget what I was there for, just sort of look around for like things I can make a shield out of or like a weapon, and then go, yes, runes, and then check under the bed.
There is not a rune carved underneath the bed.
Okay.
This room looks like it belongs to just like an old woman. Like there's just like old lady stuff in here.
I'll check Milavage's.
In Milavage's room, the only thing that you find is like his dresser with a couple of like ordinary sets of commoner's clothes in it. There's a table next to his bed with like a wash basin in it. Underneath his bed is no rune. There aren't any runes underneath his bed as well.
Okay.
What
How
time
is
is it?
How is he looking anyway?
It's like 2 a.m. Clad.
Yeah, Faraz-
He's not looking well. You see that he is sweating profusely, and that he has like traces of like vomit mixed with blood that are like crusted on his lips, and his skin is yellow, like straight up yellow.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Philos. Oh yeah, Philos had put the amulet into, or the thing into his bag of holding.
Yeah, you've still got it.
Okay, I would take it out and inspect it some more.
Yeah, so it has, like I said, it is got a big X scratched onto the outside of it, and inside was a small inscription in Celestial. Did you guys manage to translate that last time?
Yes.
The inscription says, "Let darkness hide from the gaze of the light."
Okay, I moved to the couch to go to do my trance for 4 hours.
All right. Cool.
Well, that's a good idea. I'm going to probably go to sleep myself.
Once I wake up, I'll cook the children their breakfast.
All right, cool. So everybody goes to sleep. Go ahead and give yourselves a long rest. And the next day comes around, or I guess it's already the next day, but the remainder of this day comes around.
Veloth wakes up after 4 hours, and once he starts to hear that people upstairs and the mistress is staying up, I move into the kitchen to start cooking the breakfast for the kids.
When you go into the kitchen, you see that on the like work table area, like the prep table, that there is the tightly wrapped body of a sort of or tween that is wrapped in sheets and sitting on the prep table.
Okay, so I'll just have to work on the other tables to try to make the meals.
All right, cool. So go ahead and make your cooking check.
$17 this is with proficiency. So 19.
All right, so you are bothered by the presence of this corpse in your kitchen, but you have a job to do, and so you begin to prepare the meal, and you make a pretty nice meal. All right, everyone else. Let's see. Was anyone else? Sorry, go ahead.
Who has the locket?
Velas currently has the locket.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Velasque and ask him if I can see the locket.
I give it to her.
And I'm reading over the locket. And what does it say again? One more time.
On the inside of the small rusted tin locket is an inscription that says, let me find it. Let darkness hide from the gaze of the light.
Okay. And I see this. I would like to then slam the locket down on the table as hard as I can and try and break it.
All right. Let me do some quick reading.
That doesn't sound good, or it does sound good. I don't know.
I think that's personally, I think that's right up there when the DM kind of just looks and starts laughing.
All right. You smash the crap out of it. And it breaks.
I already am serving the table, serving everyone outside there at the time, so I don't notice this, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're probably messing up big time this week.
Okay, I'm gonna take all the pieces and just put them in my pocket.
Sure. All right, you take all the pieces and you put them in your pocket.
Yep, and then I walk out like nothing happened.
All right, cool. So the day sort of begins. Miss Belasco comes out of her office a little later than usual, still wearing the same clothes she was wearing last night. She doesn't look like she got much rest. She informs all of you that Felix is secured in the office and that he will be for today. But she again reiterates that after this evening that she wants you all to leave the orphanage because she's worried that you're angering whatever this is as opposed to helping.
What would my character know about performing a exorcism on a possessed and how to get rid of it?
Sorry, what was that?
What would my character know about getting rid of a demon possessing?
Give me a religion check.
Sure.
Can I help him?
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll with advantage.
The two of you put your heads together and think about what you know about demons.
That is a 15 total. Yikes, I've been rolling quite poorly today.
All right. Cool. So you rolled a 15. You know that there are several cleric spells that can end possessions. Casting protection from good and evil on something could end a possession effect. You know that I believe there's a spell that's like banishment or like there are several spells that can do it. As far as like rituals go, those are the spells that can do it. You know, like the process of casting these spells and things.
Goody.
So basically, your best bet would be a protection from good and evil spell.
Yeah. which I am able to take, but I did not sort out my. Yeah, but what are the rules for warlocks about swapping out spells again? Are they the ones that can only swap out spells per level up, or?
I think it's when you level up you can change your spells.
Yeah, it's a bit. I don't. I'll quickly double check my spellcasting thing because it's a bit weird for class to class. Yeah, it's per level up. Unfortunate. Well, yeah, I'm
perform
yeah,
exorcism.
I'm unable to perform protection of good and evil. Is there anyone we know that can cast it potentially, and I can get in here before the evening's over?
So you guys went to the priest a couple days ago, and you asked him for help, and he informed you that he can't cast spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty useless.
He's just a preacher man. He's not a cleric.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Does anybody want me to run back and see if he would know anybody that could do it?
How much time do we? Oh, sorry. How much time would it take to get over there?
For me, not long.
Yeah, for him, not long. He's got this ability that lets him know side streets to get to places quicker. If any of you were to go following the main streets, it'd probably to get to the church and back would probably take about half the day.
I have the urchin background, so I can.
So you also have
traverse distance in
that
half
thing?
the time,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I got that same one I have.
So the two of you
Rogues.
together can make it there and back in about a quarter of the day. So if you left now, you could be back by noon.
Yeah.
Should we go
Yeah.
then?
Yeah. Do it. Brilliant idea.
Yeah,
Brilliant idea.
We'll go again. This is so stupid. The atheist is going to the church.
The atheist and the lizard.
I think they wrote a story about this in the pre-draft of Grimm's fairy tales or something.
All right.
All right, we're heading out.
The two of you head out and through. Yeah. You're heading towards the church. While they're gone, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to try to keep the kids distracted by telling them watered down versions of the Underdark, minus everything that would scare a child, so not much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Miss Belasco seems very distant all day. She doesn't seem to come out of her office hardly at all. So the kids are very appreciative of you, entertaining them and talking to them. And they're a very receptive audience. They ask a lot of questions. They ask you to tell more stories. There's some good kids.
While they're doing the church thing, if it doesn't pan out, I'd like to. How far? We're in the town, right? We're not that far outside of it.
Right. You are in the town. Let me pull up the Valaki map.
Is it possible for me to use my ear to the ground feature for my background to maybe ask around for anybody that might be able to perform the exorcism?
How does that work exactly?
It says you're in frequent contact with people in the segment of society that your chosen quarries move through. These people might be associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and tumble folk of the streets, or members of high society. This section comes in form of a contact. Any city you visit, a person provides information about the people and places of the local area.
All right.
I'm guessing if anybody knew somebody that's performing exorcists around the town, somebody would tell me.
I have one idea, an idea and a fallback plan, but both of them are pretty terrible ideas. Is there any other players still at the orphanage place?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was reading.
Is there any other players at the orphanage, please?
Uh,
Where we are right now. Yeah.
All of you are at the orphanage except for Kellen, and who else went with Kellen? Zed.
Zed.
Yeah. Kellen and Zed aren't there, but everybody else is. Here, I'll put the token that means the party over there.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna quickly find let's say because but Velas, you said you're telling stories to the rest of the kids. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep them entertained. I'm using my deck of cards to play card games. I'm doing everything I can to distract.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna find Tavia. Tavia then. Is that pronounced your couch's name?
Tavior or Tavior, I think is the character name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tavior.
Tavior.
Yeah, Tavio. Yeah, I was gonna go find you and start spitballing ideas with you what to do. Yeah, so I was gonna say, so I have an idea. It's absolutely terrible. Gonna try the whole bargaining thing again with the demon. Not sure if that's a good idea or not, but
I mean, ain't no harm in trying.
because we have to get this demon out of this child as soon as possible. If that fails, quite literally, the last possible solution is to, well, don't want to say it, but it's just how we have to end the child.
To
But
commit game end.
yes, game end.
Well, I
Yes.
think he's still in the office. If you want to go over there, we can go over there together and try and talk to him.
Yes, but I'm going to do that if this last possible solution, and well, we've been out of and we cannot do anything about the exorcism problem. Just
All right, so who had the ear to the ground feature and was trying to use it?
Phelan.
Phelan? Okay. So go ahead and make... So I guess it says you automatically have a contact in any city you go to.
Yeah.
So I would say that extends to the Sword Coast, but not as much to Barovia, because Barovia is like specifically locked in a demiplane, cut off from everything else, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You though, I'll give you advantage on a check to like find someone that could help you though, just so
Investigation.
yeah, you can make an investigation check at advantage to try to like go outside and ask around, see if you can get pointed in the correct direction towards someone who might be able to help you.
Got a 22.
All right, so yes, you go out and you kind of you keep an eye out and you see a couple promising looking people that are dressed sort of like goth. You think, oh, those people might know about spells and exorcisms and such. So you go over and you kind of like on the sly, you're like, hey, you know anything about, exorcisms? And let's see. Go ahead and roll persuasion. You found someone who you think is promising, and now you have to convince them.
I got a 13.
All right. You see that these sort of like some witchy-looking people, and one of them kind of like looks around to make sure nobody's watching, and she says, "We're not supposed to talk about this stuff on the streets, but if you really wanted to get involved in some real magic, it's not so hard to find, is all I'm saying."
I'm interested.
You see that she sort of like palm slides you a tiny piece of paper at that she scribbles something on. She says, "You didn't hear about this from me, but there are people here who can help you. They're the ones with the real power in Valaki."
Okay.
And as you look at the paper, you see that the small group of Goths has very quickly walked away. And you look and you see that the paper has an address, as well as the last name Wachter.
Okay. Depending, I don't know how far I am away from the orphanage. I like to go back to the orphanage and tell the people that are still there about the place, what happened.
Yeah, you didn't have to go too far. Like, the orphanage is not far from the main street, and that's where you did your talking. So it takes you like 5 minutes to get back. So the group of you, he comes back, Phelan comes back in, and shares this information.
So, does anybody want to go with me?
I
I'm
will.
staying here to help the kids.
Yes. I will. I'll help.
Okay. I guess me and Frey are going to head out to the address.
I'll join too.
All right, cool.
What are we to expect, Phelan?
What's that? Sorry?
What are we to expect?
No idea. They just told me that this is where the real power is held in this town. And they might be able to help me.
Okay.
So I figured let's get some backup.
So you head towards the town, to this house. It's not too far away from where y'all already were. I'll go ahead and mark where it is. Right there. This house right here.
Okay.
Okay, so you approach the address, and you see a sizable mansion. This house seems disgusted with itself. A slouching roof hangs over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realize the extent to which the house hates what it has become. So yes, there is an enormous mansion covered in vines and moss that is like bulging and sagging under the weight of everything and looks like it might collapse any day now.
Does it appear that there's anybody inside the mansion?
You see that there are lights on inside, and there is there's some like groundskeepers sort of tending to gardens on the outside, on the eastern end of the house.
You guys want to go up, knock on the door?
Sure.
We might as well talk to the groundskeepers first.
Sure.
Yeah, you go over and you see that there is an individual wearing like gardening clothes that is tending to some plants. As you approach, he like looks up and he kind of like wipes some of the dirt off of his hands onto his clothes, and he gets up and he walks over to the group of you and he says, "Hello, can I help you all? Do you have business with Lady Wachter?"
Well, me and my compatriots, well, we were told that we would seek. What did they last say? That we were told to seek real power. Come here.
Yeah, we're looking for help.
Yeah, and I would like to know what these people, well, who these people are, and what they are like, before we go in.
The Wachters?
Yeah.
Well, they're my employers. Is there what specifically? You said you were told that they were the people with the real power?
No. We're just new to town. We're looking for some help here. We were told that your employers might be able to help us.
Well, my lady is arguably the most important and politically connected person in the town. Of course, the Vargases, the Baron and his family would probably disagree, but our family, or the Wachters, their blood goes back further than the Vargases. So He kind of shrugs.
Good.
But they could probably help you. I know Lady Wachter loves to meet with new people as they come to the town. She likes to be well connected, and she likes to know everyone who is active in Vallaki. I do know though that she generally tends to approach you. She's frequently inviting. She frequently invites people to dinner, and that's usually the first way you'd see her. You could go knock on the door, but if you haven't met her yet, I don't know. She might consider that rude. She's a very proper woman.
No, I haven't had a chance to meet her, but one of her acquaintances, if you will, gave me this note to come here and said she might be able to help, and just has her address and her name on it.
Oh well, I suppose
That's as good as an invitation as I know.
He says, I suppose you're right. Just a moment. He says, let me go speak with Lady Wachter myself. He leads you all up to the front door though, and he says, you can wait here. He pulls out a key ring and opens the you see that the front door is locked and reinforced with like several thick iron bands, and he unlocks each of the iron bands with his key. And he opens the door, sort of like goes inside, pulls it tightly behind him. And after a few minutes, a woman comes to the door.
Hello. Miss
right.
Walden?
It's Wachter.
Wachter, sorry, Wachter.
Just a second, let me read this. All right. So as she comes to the door, you see a middle-aged woman who is very tall. She's very proper, very well put together. All of her clothes are like meticulously matched. She's got accessories and things, but none of it looks like frivolous or bangly. It gives her like a regal, almost like queen-like air. And she sort of holds that presence as well. All of you kind of feel yourself straightening up and sort of like looking at her very like I don't know. She demands a level of respect just by her very presence. And so you kind of like straighten up, and she says, "Hello. I had heard that there were new adventurers in town, but I had not yet had an opportunity to send my man out to send you an invitation. But I suppose you've saved me the trouble by coming here yourselves. I'm Lady Fiona Wachter." And she reaches out a hand and shakes each of your hands who are here.
My lady, it's an honor.
Yes,
The honor is mine. What were your names?
I'm Phelan.
I am Frey.
My name's Tavier.
Well, Frey, Phelan, and Tavier, welcome to Vallaki. How long have you been in the city? I know you can't have come recently because I've just heard of you.
Not long. Just a few days now.
And what do you think of our town so far? Forgive me if we keep our conversation out here on the porch. We have customs. I feel I need to speak to you a bit before I feel comfortable allowing you inside.
Very quaint and nice.
She kind of like nods and she says, yes, nice. She looks to the rest of you and she says, and what are your opinions of our dear town, Vallaki?
It has a nice atmosphere. We're getting used to it.
It does take a fair amount of getting used to the nice atmosphere, I agree. And she looks to you, Tavier, and of you. What do you think of our town?
Tavier just looks kind of shyish and looks the other way.
My dear, please, we're adults and we are nobles. Our time is valuable. Let's get over these, whatever this is.
Don't mind her. She's
sort of
a little
like
slow.
She puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of like squeezes your shoulder and she says, "It's quite all right, dear. I don't bite."
Well, I'll turn and look at her and say, it has been quite an adventure so far in this town.
Yes, I had heard from my man in the city that you all were frequenting the church. Have you had a chance to meet Father Lucian?
I'm assuming we did. I wasn't here during that session.
Yeah, you guys had met Father Lucian. He is sort of like an old. His mind, like he's blind in one eye. He's got like one of his legs is bad with the gout. He's like an absurdly old priest, who is very like, oh, it will be great, everyone. All you have to do is smile and worship the morning lord, and everything will be fine. He's like that kind of guy.
Yeah, we met him. He's a nice guy.
She kind of smiles and she says, yes, we do so love our Father Lucian here in Valaki. He's such an inspiring leader.
Inspired me, I'd say so.
Can I just insight check her, just see how she's actually what feelings are towards him? Because I feel like there's a bit of spite behind those words.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
Sure. Insight. Let's go. Normal dice roll and roll. That is a total of 20.
You can tell there is contempt that she's barely hiding.
Okay.
So, is there a reason you all have come to my doorstep today? I wasn't expecting you, as I said.
Yeah, we needed some help.
And you came to me?
Well, you see, I met this person who I guess is acquaintance of yours, and he just told me to go to this address and your name. Here's the piece of paper, and I handed it over to her.
She takes it from you, and she looks at it, and she says, yes. If someone gave you this, then you must have been in the right circles. Come inside. She steps out of the doorway and opens it and gestures for you all to come in.
Head inside.
Yep. Head inside as well. Best not to anger the lady.
All right, you step into an entryway area. The front door opens into a narrow vestibule. 3 stained glass doors and wooden frames lead from it. You see that there are 2 closet doors that are flanking the front door. She walks you through out of that area, and let's see. Where does she take y'all? To the parlor. Let's see. She takes you through a hallway and through another set of doors into her parlor. She gestures for you all to enter and sit down. You see inside the room are 3 elegant couches surrounding an oval table made of black glass. All of them are set in front of a blazing hearth, above which hangs the portrait of a smirking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangled mop of hair graying at the temples. He's sort of like got a very charming smile. And you see that there are several smaller portraits hanging on the northern wall. As you all enter into the room, she looks over her shoulder and she calls out, "We'll have tea in the parlor, please." And she enters and shuts the door behind you. You do, though, as you all come in, you see that there is a figure sort of standing in the corner of the room as you all walk in. Very unassuming. It takes you a second to even register that he's there, but all of you sort of, as he clears his throat, you look and see that there is a man in shadowed leather and a hood standing in the corner of the room. He says, "My lady, would you like me to clear the room?" And she turns to him and she says, yes, Ernst. You can wait for me in the den. He nods to all of you and heads out of the room. And she sits down at one of the couches and gestures for you all to take the other couches. As she does, the servant brings in a tea set, and she begins pouring everyone tea. She says, please, sit down. So, tell me more of this help that you've come to me for.
We came from the orphanage. What was the orphanage called?
St Andrals.
Yeah, St Andrals. And one of the children there has gotten possessed, and it is out of my abilities and most of my comrades' abilities to try to perform the necessary rites to end that possession. And we are here wondering if you, or if you know a person that is able to end such a possession.
She sort of like she puts a sugar cube in her tea and gives it a couple stirs. She says, "You have proof of a demon's presence at the orphanage?"
I wasn't here. Do we have any proof? How physical proof we got?
Do we have any physical proofs other than the deaths and the child deaths and the magicness and stuff? I guess I'll just explain to her. There was magic darkness. There's been several children have been injured or murdered or missing.
As well as fiendish runes, I believe.
Yeah, fiendish runes.
Very interesting that all this should happen just as you all make your way into town. Not that I blame you, of course. I just think that things like this don't happen for no reason. Not consequence. Coincidence is a myth.
Maybe we're just here to help.
It is true, but we're also just trying to save a boy's life.
I do believe that you're all here to help. And I would like to provide it in whatever way I can. I, unfortunately, do not have the ability to cast out demons, and I can almost guarantee you that our foolish priest cannot either. What I can offer, though, is a safe place to bring the boy for your ritual, for your exorcism.
Okay.
If you would like to, and you can convince Miss Belasco, and I suppose mentioning that we at the Wachter family is offering assistance in this, and possibly mentioning a new donation for another wing for the orphanage might convince her to allow you to take the boy.
Okay. Is she going to help us find someone to do the exorcism, or is she just providing a room?
I can provide you a space, and while I can't provide you help with an exorcism per se, I can provide help in other ways.
Okay. Enough said for me.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you, Lady Wachter. We will not forget this.
One last question, Miss Wachter. Where would we get the funds to donate a new wing to the orphanage?
Oh, I would do that. That's not you. I'm saying if she's unwilling to send the boy, perhaps it could be a useful bargaining chip.
May I ask what's in it for you?
She smirks. She says, No, you may not.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, is there anyone in this town that is able to sell or supply spell scrolls, because if I can get a spell scroll I need, I would be able to do the ritual of the exorcism.
You need a spell scroll?
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, because I can still use spell scrolls to cast protection from good and evil.
Yeah, if you get one.
Yeah.
I don't believe I have any such scrolls. But I could ask my man to keep an ear to the ground and an eye out for one.
Thank you.
Before you leave, I have some questions for you. First, can I trust you?
In what manner?
Just in general, the statement, can I trust you?
Yes.
Trust is an important thing in this town. We don't have much of it. There's a lot of infighting and backstabbing.
You can trust
And
us.
good. I have a feeling that you all are at the center of something very big. And I've been waiting for this big thing to happen. Now that I know that I can trust you, I would like you to know that my trust is something that is fragile. And I care about it deeply. So I would recommend that you be very careful with it and you don't break it. Because if you do, I can't make any promises as to what may or may not happen to all of you. Do you understand?
Understood.
Lady.
Good. My servant will see you out. I hope to see you this evening with the boy. And she excuses herself.
Did she give us an address, or is it kind of understood that's back at her manor?
It's back at her manor.
Okay.
After a moment, you see that shadowed, leathered, hooded figure come back into the room. And he says, "All right, all of you are to come with me. I need to show you something."
Okay. Follow him.
Yep.
As you get up and you follow him, he takes you out into the vestibule, and he hands you a supple leather case. It's like a bookcase, not a book. I don't know why it says case. It's a bag. He hands you a leather bag, inside of which you find 2 books. As well as a bag of money.
I would like to just flip through pages of one of the books.
One of the books is a spell book.
Okay.
Inside of it are what appear to be necromancy spells.
Interesting.
The other book is an unbound manuscript. As you kind of flip to the front page, you see the manuscript is titled "The Devil We Know." And as you see that it is written by Lady Fiona Wachter.
Okay. Is that the same one we just met?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I might actually just keep, read this fully later. Okay.
All right. Sorry. Her spy, though, he hands you this bag, And he says, if you come back tonight and you have the package, you can bring it to the cellar door. And he says, and you need to knock 3 times. And he says, but you need to do it in a specific way. And he shows you, like, he says, you knock like that on the cellar door, and we'll be waiting for you. And if you do this for us, then you will have the lady's gratitude and mine.
Okay.
Understood.
All right, Kellen and Zed. The two of you are at the church. You've just reached the church, breathlessly turned into the gate that sort of houses the churchyard and the cemetery. It's not quite noon. It's probably about 10 or 11 a.m. And you see that there is choir practice going on inside the church. As you go in, the priest, though, is not among those practicing the choir. You don't see him around, but you do see Yeska, the altar boy, who seems to always be at the priest's side.
Okay. I'm walking in. I'll go up to Yeska.
Yeska.
Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the church. What can I do for you?
Where is the priest?
Yes, where is the priest?
Father Lucian's in his office. He's doing his daily devotional.
I don't know what that means.
We're not going to disturb whoever he's with if we go in there. or talk
Well,
to
it's just
him.
his time with the morning Lord is all.
Oh, that devotional. Okay.
I know he doesn't like to be disturbed, though. Do you want me to tell him that you're waiting for him?
Unless you can possibly help us, would you happen? I know he's not versed in any type of like religious type magic, or so to speak. But does he know anyone that would be able to do something like that?
Who would be able to use magic?
Like, say it's remove a curse or remove a
Demon.
demon. Thank you.
He kind of like looks at you eyes wide. And he says, a demon, sirs.
Yes.
Yes, we can tell.
Could you fetch the priest?
He nods. He says, I'll get Father Lucian. He'll want to hear about this. And he runs off and he enters this big ornate door with like a stained glass effigy of the Morning Lord. He runs in there and he comes out and he says, the Father said he'll see you. Just come in here. And he leads you into the church's office.
Okay.
Okay.
You see that Father Lucian is sitting behind a desk. There are several like large tomes open on the desk, and as you walk in, he begins to like put away his papers, and he says, "Oh, welcome, welcome, adventurers! I was hoping I could see you again. How is the search for what we had spoken about?"
Terrible. Thank you for asking.
"Oh no. Well, fill me in. What all is going on?"
Come to find out, the kid is possessed by a demon of some variety. Would you happen to know how to get rid of it?
Me? Cast out a demon? Oh, maybe in my younger days, but I don't think I could do that now.
Would you happen to know anyone that's in the town that'd be able to do something like that if you're not able to?
I'm afraid I don't. Magical healing and acts of the divine and such are in short supply these days since we've angered the Morning Lord as badly as we have.
Do you have a prayer that we could read to expel the demon?
Oh, well, I'd recently sent a copy of my only book on demons with you. I'm afraid if there's not a prayer in that, I wouldn't know one. But I'm afraid are you saying that you have confirmation that there is a demon at work?
Pretty good, yeah.
Yes.
Great heavens! We must inform the Baron at once! Quickly!
No need. We will take care of it.
We have that control. Sort of.
Well, how do you just came to me for help, and I can't help you, so how do you plan on solving anything?
That's what he said, sort of. We're trying to gain some more information before this gets too out of hand. Do you know anyone that would be able to help us besides you?
The Baron! I believe the Baron should know about this at once!
It is wise to know all options before using them.
Well,
Where is this Baron?
Well, the Baron is I would imagine he's in his mansion. Oh, its mansion is near the town square.
We can get there for you if you like. If that'll help anything. It would not take away from your devotionals and your vast knowledge of things like prayers.
He kind of looks at you all concerned, and he says, You swear that you'll go straight to the Baron and tell him of this at once?
We can do that, sure.
Yes.
All right, I must admit I am not able to get around as quickly as I was whenever I was a young lad. I thank you for this, but please go there with haste. He would not like to know that he was left in the dark about something like this, and if it comes back that I did not inform him immediately, it could come back on me.
Are you in good standing with the Baron?
Well, as I'm always in fairly good standing with the Baron, I just would prefer to keep it that way.
I see. Do you have a stamp or seal we could give him to know the message is from you?
I could write you a letter.
Yes, that would work.
He grabs his quill and he scrawls a letter describing what you've told him and saying that you are all there to help. He rolls it up and he seals it with wax using his signet ring.
Very good. We will take this to him.
Do you want to hold on to this?
Sure.
I'll add that to my custom items.
All right, cool. All right, so that is you can say Father Lucian's letter.
Okay.
All right.
And we've dealt with this guy before,
Yes.
so any insight checks and whatnot to find out what this guy's all about, that's probably already been done.
Yeah, he is think of an old Baptist preacher. He's a lot of fire and brimstone. He preaches a lot of we've sinned and therefore this is all a punishment kind of stuff. He is very pro order, and he makes sure he's a very prominent part of the community, especially a lot of the festivals that happen. There's basically a different festival that happens in Vallaki every week. And basically they've kind of gotten to the point where some of the townsfolk think that it's stupid, but he's one of the ones who's always like, no, this is great. If we're happy, then things will be fine. But, yes, so...
He's a big fan of order, you said?
He's what?
A big fan of order, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a big law and order guy.
No wonder him and I don't get along. Okay.
All right, so the two of you take your letter. Are you going to take it straight to the Burgomeister's mansion, or are you going to take it to the orphanage?
I say we go to the mansion.
All right.
It cannot hurt.
But it also save us a trip if we have to go back to the orphanage to turn around to go back to the mansion.
All right. So you two begin to kind of go back through the side streets towards the town square. And you actually run into the rest of the party on their way back to the orphanage. Like right here.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Come, we're going to the mansion.
The mansion? Which mansion?
The
D-Barons.
Meisterman's mansion.
We spoke to Lady
Lady
Walker?
Wachter, and she is not the Baron. You guys didn't.
Yeah.
You guys didn't talk to her about the Baron.
We've already secured the exorcism. We just need to wait until later tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. All we need to do is just get the child to the lady's mansion and then we've got as much time as we need to sort out the demon issue.
I see.
You think you could have thought of that before we run halfway across town?
Well, you see, we had a backup plan in case it didn't work out, and it ended up working out.
Great.
Well, we do not want to be in bad standing with the crazy churchman.
And I don't think we should be in bad standing with the nobility here, because I definitely think they would have our heads.
I have a letter from Father Lucian.
I've got some knowledge saying that this lady we dealt with earlier has all the real power in this town, so I'm going to go with her. I don't think the Baron's really in charge here.
Fair enough.
There's one small problem though, is that we told the church, the priest of the church, that we would go take this letter to the Baron. So even if he's not in power, we need to hold on our end of things. I don't want to start.
Yeah, but the Baron doesn't know. The Baron doesn't know that.
I'm aware of that, but they don't want to burn bridges with the. I want to burn bridges with possible contacts here.
A big issue
Come in.
that we have is the big issue we have right now is that the lady did give us quite an open-ended threat if I do not break her trust.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yet we are trusting her.
I feel like we kind of have to. It felt like one of those situations where we didn't have a choice.
Yes.
And I would also say I trust her more than I trust that person.
Well, you three made the deal with her, right? We didn't.
He does not know of us.
I tell you what, you guys go visit the Baron. We'll take the kid to see
Sorry.
the lady.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Just don't tell the Baron anything about what we're doing, just in case.
Okay.
No, we can do that.
Okay.
And we'll go skulk off through the side streets towards the.
Before we leave, how much
Yeah.
money was how much money was in that pouch, DM? What we got?
Yes. As you open the pouch, you see that there are 100 electrum pieces.
Has to be election. God. To avoid doing maths, I just give. I'm just going to give it back to the entire back to Callan. So just keep holding to this. It'll be safe with you for now. Just we'll divvy out when we all get back to the orphanage. Or when we next meet up.
What was it? 100 electrum?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So you split back up. Most of you heading back to the orphanage, but Kellen and Zed continue to the Burgomeister's mansion.
Okay. Is that like here?
No. The Burgomeister's mansion is over here. It's right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it's not terribly far from the.
No, you guys, it's not too much further away. So you head to the town square. As you get to the town square, you see that the shops and homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with dead, tiny flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked in which are several men, women, and children wearing crude plastered donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. And you see that there is a crew of townsfolk that are wearing like yellow sashes that are like currently putting up new declarations over the old ones. You see like a poster bill, like they're just tacking up a new poster over the old one.
Go up to it, read that.
You see the new poster that just got stuck up says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the festival of the blazing sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron."
The Baron is throwing a festival.
So I see. Ironic that he's going to the sun of the blazing sun when there's no sun in this area. That makes me worry right away.
It might
Sorry, go ahead.
prove useful later.
Very well good.
People carrying lots of shiny things during festivals.
That they do, yes.
All right, the two of you kind of like look around the square and you see the mansion that you've been directed to go to. It has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. You see drapes covering every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double-door entrance. As you all approach the mansion, you see that there is a constant stream of people kind of like coming in and out of the two front doors, which are they're propped open. You see men and women carrying bundles of twigs, which are it looks like they're getting them from inside. They're like carrying these big bundles of twigs out of the mansion and over to a cleared area in the square, where it looks like they're piling up sticks.
This place looks like hell. I thought it looked better than this.
Let's get in line here. Enter the mansion.
Yeah, may as well.
All right. As you go in, you kind of like look for someone to like tell you what to do. As you kind of just like you're kind of just like around the front of the mansion, but you see there's a butler who is kind of like directing some of the flow of work. And as he sees the group of you, he's very old, like very old, and he walks up and he says, "Hello, do you have business with the Baron?"
Yes. Then I'll take out the letter and show him the seal on it.
"Ah, yes, the seal of Father Lucian. The Baron will want to see you at once. He will see you in his den." And he leads you into the house.
Okay.
He leads you not to a den though, but through a hallway that is like lined with, again, like there are just like bundles of sticks like littering this hallway. But he leads you to the back of the hallway and into what appears to be a parlor. The parlor contains a fine array of furnishings and draperies with an overall feminine touch. He says, "I will go and speak to the Baron on your behalf. You may wait here."
Thank you.
And he leaves you alone.
Alright.
Anyone inside at all?
Not in this room, no.
Temptation.
Yeah.
You
Kellen, you're
hear
a rogue,
you hear
right?
activity from outside of the room though.
Uh-huh.
And that's just like the activity of like all the things that are going on in the hallway, people like picking up these sticks. But you also, as you kind of listen in, you can hear the loud chatter of female voices from somewhere nearby.
Okay. Anything of like value that I can see sort of in the area that I could easily hide in a bundle of sticks?
So there is, so like I said, there's a fine array of like, there's like vases and like, there's a lot of like little nice knickknacks in the room that are probably worth something.
Okay.
There's nothing that's like a sword or like a big like gold bar or anything though. It's like,
Yeah, I'm just looking for something I could probably smuggle out inside of a bundle of sticks.
give me a perception roll.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Sure. The two of you can kind of case the room to determine value, so you can roll that with advantage.
Okay.
I hope there's a cow figurine.
21.
All right. You see that there are several chandeliers, or not chandeliers, candelabras, that appear to be made out of real silver, and they could be easily concealed. There's two of them.
Okay.
Those look good.
There's also a tea set sitting on the table that appears to have, again, like some little silver spoons and things with it. Those appear to be... The candelabras, though, is probably the easiest and most expensive thing you could grab.
Okay.
So you're going to take
I'd
them?
like to swipe a candelabra.
Sure.
Sort of stuff it in a thing of sticks.
Yep. Go ahead and add a silver candelabra. It weighs about 10 pounds.
Okay.
Hey, Zed, when we're putting these, like, this is a good place to hide these. You know why that, you know what is brown and sticky, right?
No.
A steak.
I hate you.
Silver
All right.
candelabra. Okay, added.
Cool. You've got your candelabra. So let's see. You've got your stuff. You've put it in your bag, and then you see the butler re-enter the room. He says, "The Baron will see you now. Follow me."
Following him. Yep.
All right, he leads you through the house, down that same entry hall, and to the left this time instead of to the end of the hall. And you enter into a nice den. There are padded chairs and couches lining the wall of this cozy carpeted den. The room reeks of pipe smoke, and mounted on the eastern wall is the head of an angry-looking brown bear. Sitting behind a large desk is a hulking man wearing like noble's clothes and a cape, and you see he's wearing a silver circlet. And he says, or he gets up out of the chair and sort of like walks up to you and like grasps your hand, each of you, and like shakes it, like, and it like rattles your whole being. He's like huge. His hands like engulf yours. And he says, "Hello, friends. I am Baron Vargas. It is good to meet you. I have heard talk of many new folks in town, and I had not had a chance yet to introduce myself. I am Baron Vargas Volakovich."
I am called Zed.
My name is Kellen.
Well met to the both of you. And, what can I say is the pleasure today? I heard you had word from the father at the church.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and hand him that letter.
He opens it, and he sits down at his thing, and he kind of reads it. You see as he's reading, he kind of like mouths the words out loud, and he's kind of slow reading. You kind of notice. But he looks up from it, and he says, "And this is true. You have seen this for yourself."
Yes.
We have, yes.
"Oh, the reach of the devil. Even when we think we are safe, we must be constantly vigilant, and this is exactly why. he kind of gets up and he says, "Our town has gone without dark things like this for a long time. And it's for one reason, and one reason only. And it's that our people are the happiest in all of the valley. As long as we keep ourselves happy, and we keep the city secure, then the devil and his minions, they leave us alone in favor of that small village Barovia that is so horribly in his grasps. If there really is a dark force such as this, it can be no coincidence." He looks at all of you and he says, "Can I trust you?"
I don't see why not.
I imagine so.
And are you guys lying or are you being truthful?
No, I'm just
No, just cautious.
legit response. No, not lying.
He says, "I don't believe in coincidences. And I have many enemies in the town. And I have a feeling that this is involving one of them."
Which one?
There is a noble family, almost as old and prestigious as mine. The Wachters. The matriarch of the Wachter family. She wants me out of my position. She believes that she and her line should be the ones in control of Vallaki. And I have reason to believe that she has allied herself with the devil. And he looks at you with wide eyes when he says it.
Is he describing the woman that the other party members met?
They did tell you that it was Fiona Wachter that they had met with, yes. Fiona Wachter. She will caress your cheek and tell you that all is well with one hand, and with the other she drives her dagger deeper into your back and twists. She's a viper. And this reeks of her and her clan.
Mention of the viper, I'm just kind of gonna scratch my head awkwardly because I'm like a lizard.
It's fine. A lizard, not a snake.
Okay. I do not understand these human phrases.
He kind of chuckles at you and he says, "Yes, it is hard to rival the intelligence of a human."
Oh, very well.
Sort of like shrug him off, be like, whatever.
But, as I was saying, I believe that this situation reeks of her and her darkness. I don't have proof, and I'm unwilling to act without it. But if you can get me proof that she's involved in some way, I will make it worth your while. You'll be very well connected in town, and you will have me in your debt. And having the Baron in your debt, I guarantee you, is worth so much more than any paltry trinkets that she could give you."
Perhaps that's a token of your good faith, a gift?
Give me a persuasion check.
What do you have in mind to pick up anyway?
13.
He says, yes, I suppose some sort of payment could be good. A way to, for me to put you on retainer, as it were. How does that sound?
Excellent. We will take care of this demon for you and look into this wench.
The demon we will be taking care of, but I would like you to ensure that if there is some involvement of Lady Wachter, that you find it.
Well, I believe the best way to find involvement with Lady Walker, we need to be very close to doing the demon business ourselves.
He reaches into his desk and he pulls out a bar of metal. It is a 10-pound trade bar of silver, and he puts one in front of each of you.
I like this guy.
Yeah, same here.
Go ahead.
He says, "Is this an ample enough down payment for your services?"
Yes.
That will do. You have been kind.
He says, "I demand loyalty, but know that I reward those who are loyal to me." And he also says, "And whenever I say that your job is to ensure that you find evidence that Lady Wachter is involved in this, I hope that you understand exactly what I mean." And he kind of like gives you a wink.
Well, we understand. May I ask you a question though before we actually go on our way?
Of course.
Did I hear you correctly earlier say that you would be the ones that want to take care of the demon?
Yes, as when you leave, I will be sending Izek as well as a detachment of the guard to the orphanage to collect the boy.
Well, here's the thing. As Zed had mentioned, if you want us to get close to this to see exactly what it is, we're the ones that would know what to look for because we've already dealt with it because of this letter. Would it not be a little bit better, since they're not going to expect us as possibly being associated with her not being associated with you?
He cuts you off. He says, "Oh, I just had an idea. Perhaps it would be better if we did not immediately send the guard in. It may make it easier for you to do your acts of subterfuge. I am a genius."
Yes.
Yes.
This was your idea completely, yes.
Yes, it was. Which reminds me, that is a very nice it's a very nice head you have on your wall.
Yes, he smiles and he points at the bear and he says, "I killed that whenever I was 13 years old. My father died. My father died, and I went to go prove myself a man. I found this bear in its cave, and I slayed it with my bare hands. That is what a real man does."
Well done.
I sort of like kind of nod in a sign of respect that he's slain such a large beast.
He sits down in his chair. He reaches under the desk and he pulls out a decanter and he pours each of you a drink as well as himself a drink that's about twice as much as yours do. And then he pulls a cigar out of a cigar box and he passes each of you a cigar. And as he lights his up and he leans back in his chair, he takes a big puff. He blows a big ring. I have a feeling that this is the beginning of a very lucrative and beneficial work relationship.
Yes.
And I'll take a puff.
It's a very nice cigar.
I kind of hold it with like the lizard tongue, so I don't even use my hands.
Would he know by looking at the way we're dressed what our class would be, I guess?
You'd guess that he's probably made some assumptions about you.
Someone needs to do the dirty work.
That's true. That's what
Give him a wink.
He chuckles and he says, "Yes, but always for the grand goal of keeping things well for the people in town. Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty when you are in charge."
Agreed. It's not always a nice job, but it has to be done, correct?
That's correct, and sometimes it takes someone with the guts to do it. And we have the guts. I can tell that you do. We're not so different. But with that, he says, "But I have festival preparations to attend to. I believe you all have your orders. Once you've completed them, bring your proof here to me."
Of course.
Yes.
And he gestures for you all to leave. and he calls for the butler, who opens the door and sees you all out.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. Is there any way we can grab those things before we leave?
Oh, we have them already.
Oh, we actually have them. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're let out of the house. As you are let out, the butler stops you and he says, "The Baron requested I give these to you." And he hands you each a yellow sash that says Event Organizer. "This, the Baron says, will give you access to places that the regular common folk are not allowed."
This will be most useful.
Oh, yes. Thank you for these, by the way.
All right, and the two of you leave and head back to the orphanage.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yellow sash added. How much is that? The stuff we've taken worth? Do we need to sell it first?
All right, so the trade bars are worth 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
And the candelabra is worth 20 gold pieces.
Okay.
Alternatively, it is silver, which is sort of a useful item all on its own in Barovia.
Okay. So it's 20 gold pieces worth of silver.
The candelabra is 20 gold pieces worth of silver, yeah.
And the bar's 50, you said.
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right, so the group of you head back to the orphanage. You step in to see Velas, who is looking ragged, as he has been entertaining these children all day. Miss Belasco has poked her head out maybe twice throughout the course of the day. Both times she has gone into the kitchen, sort of wordlessly prepared some tea, and then gone back into her office.
Let's get on with the exorcism. We are running out of time.
Right, well, it's
And we'll go ahead and let the party know, but make sure we're like away from anybody who can overhear about what the Baron said and all that. Fill them in.
Yeah. Try to do some acrobatics for the kids.
Yeah, you don't have to roll. You've spent the day doing feat. Like, it's taken your entire repertoire of tricks. All of your, Rhodomontade, all of your, sleight of hand. Yeah.
Valas, the drow matriarchs training here did some good with the kids, it looked like.
Yeah, maybe if it wasn't for I would say if it wasn't for the fact that I had to subdue Felix, I would probably have had a chance to, in Thieves' Cant, I say, adopt in Thieves' Cant.
It's like
Nice.
that. I just kind of laugh.
good God, I'm the only one who doesn't understand that. Yeah, so I guess it's time to talk to the owner of his orphanage.
All right.
Yeah.
As you all gather yourselves and head into Miss Belasco's office, you see that Felix is tied up, and he is laying sort of slumped over on one of the chairs that he's also tied to. There are a couple empty cups of tea that are on the table next to him, and you see that Miss Belasco is she's smoking a pipe, and you see she's nervously tapping her foot, sort of just disassociating, almost staring into space. And as you knock on the door and she kind of snaps into awareness, she comes and she lets you all in. Did you do it? Do you have everything you need?
Well,
Everything but the kid.
we secured a place to perform this exorcism.
Well, you already had a place to perform the exorcism. We were doing it here.
The exorcist specifically said he wanted to do it at his location to be safe.
All right, give me a deception roll.
The 12.
She looks at you and she says, I don't see how taking him out of this place is safer. And something tells me that you're not being entirely truthful.
I would like to
If
say
it's,
something with a persuasion check. I say, if he's here, this might put the other children at risk, and I will roll a persuasion check.
Go ahead and make it with disadvantage, because she just got lied to and caught him in a lie.
8.
She says, we already discussed all of this. You were supposed to take the children somewhere else during this. I don't understand why now that we have everything ready, you guys are trying to change all of the things we agreed on.
This
it is because is because we spoke to Lady Water and after making some arrangements with her, in exchange for, she will offer you adding an addition of an entire wing to your orphanage for allowing us just so that we can bring Felix and
Lady Wachter?
yes, Lady Water.
When I went to her for funding last time, she laughed at me. She said, this is what I get for tying myself to a church.
I don't know what's changed, but when we mentioned that Felix was possessed, she was fully insisting of allowing us to use our place to perform the exorcism when we said we needed help.
exorcisms, I imagine, are nasty business. It is this place where the child was cursed. Would it not be wise to take him from it? After all, it is the child's health that matters overall.
All right, make that persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's going to be a 14.
All right. She kind of like thinks for a second, and she goes, I suppose you're right. And we're running out of room here. We're having to double up some of the children in beds.
The lady said something about donating a new wing. I was not
Yes.
there, but this could be most helpful.
This is exactly what we need.
Yeah. And
But why does she want... What does she have to her house? She wants you to bring him to her house?
yes, that is the deal that was made. And well, I feel like I could trust her in this case.
Well, I'm not really in a position to decline this. You see, she says, so I guess we'll be off then. And she grabs her coat off of a rack, and she grabs her hat.
I made the breakfast for them, but since we're going to do this, I won't be able to make dinner for them.
She says, it's okay. And she calls out, Ruby! And a girl, probably 15 years old, comes in. It is Milovaj's sister. She steps into the headmistress's office, and she says, yes, headmistress. And Miss Belasco says, you are going to be watching the children tonight. It's your responsibility to make sure they get in bed and that they're all washed up and that their teeth are brushed. Do you understand? She says, yes, Miss Belasco. Will you be going out? And she says, yes. And I'll be bringing Felix with me, so you don't need to worry about watching him or any of his tricks. Can I trust you in this? And Ruby says, yes, Miss Belasco. She says, good, you're dismissed. And Ms. Belasco picks up Felix, who is still unconscious. She says, "I've been drugging him all day. Every time he's woken up, he's been thirsty. I've been giving him tea laced with a powerful sleeping draught. He should be out until we make it to wherever it is that we're going."
Very well. And I would like to give you my condolences for the recent events.
I can't think about those right now. I just need to keep moving forward. If I stop to think, I may not start back up again. And she says, "Very well. So we should leave now. Let's get this over with."
Okay.
And, yeah, we are going to go ahead and call it there, everybody. As you all get Felix and head out of the orphanage to go to Lady Walker's.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, are we going? I have just a question before we finish.
What's up?
Did any of the orphans take a particular shining to Falas?
Let's see. Yeah. You notice that Ruby seemed to be very deft at card tricks. She had she was very quick to like see how they worked, and she was very perceptive. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and end it there, everybody. We will do inspiration and things like that off stream. We're gonna just so the wrap up process is a little quicker. So I'm gonna do like my closing spiel. I'm gonna do my plugs, and then we will do inspiration and such off stream. So thank you guys for watching. Everybody who tuned in tonight, we appreciate you. To those of you who tuned in on Facebook, we appreciate y'all. We have several games that run throughout the week. It's not just this one. So if you'd like to come back into the server, we have a Discord server that's linked in the Twitch. I'll go ahead and link it in the chat as well. So if you'd like to join into one of our games, we run games all throughout the week, and we're working on setting up an Adventurers League, like an official Adventurers League with like tiers and everything like that. So definitely stop by. Tomorrow we have the Scroll Thief. We'll be streaming that game, and Friday we'll be streaming the Crypt of the Crimson King. So make sure to tune in for both of those. With that, we'll go ahead and say thank you for watching, everybody, and